Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be hopping in my friends list and doing a fight against a Supreme Arena defense that I saw the other day. Someone messaged me on Discord and sent me a puzzle video and asked if I could counter this defense that was in the video. So we're going to take a look at that defense, and I'll put a link to Puzzle's video in the description below so you can check it out if you haven't seen it yet. The defense is pretty cool. It's got an interesting positioning and whatnot, so let's just hop in here. I asked Swampy Tough if they could set it up for me, so thank you, Swampy. And yeah, let's see this team. So it's Siren, Rainier, Ludovic, Damon, and Shamira. And basically with this positioning, you're forcing the enemy team to either abandon their talent tile or give up a Rainier swap. Now I could put my own Siren here on the talent tile, but and like he wouldn't go over to the other side because he's not swappable, he's unaffected at the start. However, it doesn't justify giving their Siren the buff from the Rainier. It's just, you don't want that Siren to do as you want him to do as little damage as possible is basically the whole fight here. So yeah. Now, in Puzzle's video, he was able to counter this team using an Aaron, Olmus, Niru, Shamira, Damon team. However, I tried that same team, and it just got blown up to nothing in seconds. And I'm guessing it's because my Paragon levels weren't high enough. It's the only thing I can think. Because now, when I watched Puzzle run that team, his team, a lot of his heroes went down pretty early, but his Shamira was able to get an active off, and then Rainier sends that Shamira into another dimension, and while that Shamira is in the other dimension, the active that she had let out is just demolishing the enemy team. So it was kind of like using their own team against them, and it was a pretty cool interaction. It's kind of like the Crying Aya thing with Shamira. However, it's not always gonna play out like that in your favor. You know, Rainier's not always gonna swap or take the Shamira into another dimension, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's not necessarily the most reliable way to counter the team, but it was getting wins. So all I can say is, you know, it did have success. But there was two other teams that Puzzle ran to counter this, and they both involved Athalia. Now, I wanted to keep the team free of Hypogen Celestial units and really any kind of like super pay-to-win heroes. Now, Callan's a little bit of a pay-to-win hero, I think, but more people are starting to get him up to Supreme Plus and to a usable level. And yeah, so basically, the Athalia was able to beat this team because it kills the Siren pretty much in the first 2 to 3 seconds of the fight, and that really hinders this enemy team a lot. So the way we're going to try and replicate this, because there's no other single hero in the game that can replicate what Athalia does. It's just not possible. You know, we try to say Lenya and Vala and stuff are kind of like replacements for Athalia, but really, I don't think they do the job that Athalia can do, or like even come close to it. And the way we're going to try and do what Athalia does is by utilizing 3 heroes to do the one job that she can do herself. And so basically what happens is, since the enemy team is positioning their heroes this way, the Siren is going to be the rearmost hero, and that means my Bonnie can target him right away at the start, put the aging debuff on him. She's going to reduce his haste, make him slower to attack, and then our own Siren is going to cast Arcane Barrage, which is going to put another aging debuff stack onto the Siren, lower his haste a little bit more, and then as soon as he gets to an ultimate, Lily May is going to block it, and that's going to put the last aging debuff stack on him, and that's going to open up the dot damage, and it's also going to spread the dot damage and the aging debuff to 2 other heroes on the enemy team. So there's a little bit of RNG involved as to whether or not the dot gets spread to Shamira early or if it gets spread to her late, that kind of thing. So there are times where you do lose this fight with this team, but I think more times than not you end up winning. And also Lily May can just clutch this fight out by herself sometimes. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, you'll see when Lily May blocks the Siren active, you'll see his health bar just go zoop down to 0, and he's just going to be deleted. So let's go ahead and hit battle and see how this plays out for us. So Bonnie's going to put the first stack onto the Siren. Then we get the Arcane Barrage for the second stack. We block the ultimate. Watch the HP just goes down to nothing. And then our Siren should get an active off. Hopefully we get the Callan Roar before Shamira can do her ultimate. And if Shamira does get the ultimate off, it comes down to our Ludovic keeping our heroes alive long enough to get the damage we need. And it looks like it didn't work out for us this time. Now Lily May did get sent to the other dimension. She'll come out of this, and I don't think she's going to be able to solo this, but sometimes she can. It's kind of crazy when she does do it. We took out the Shamira. If she can kill the Daemon, we're actually going to be good. And this is what I'm talking about with Lily May. Sometimes she just clutches the fight, and it's just so entertaining to watch. But yeah, that was one of the bad ways it could go for us, and we still got the win. So let's go ahead and do another attempt, and we'll see if we get a much cleaner win this time. So there's a lot of times where my entire team just stays alive, full HP, and just demolishes this team. And it really comes down to whether or not Callan gets his roar out in time. And yeah, we'll see if that happens. So anyway, we get the aging debuff on the Siren. We get the second stack from our Siren, and then Lily blocks it. Watches HP just goes down to nothing there. Now, if our Callan can get his roar out, we should be in a... There we go. So this should go much more in our favor now. And see how we're just deleting the rest of that team. And yeah, it's just down to the Daemon left, and we're definitely going to be able to finish him off. So yeah, there we go. Got the win. Alright, so yeah, that's more of what I usually see when I'm doing this fight. And we can check out the damage report here. So Bonnie doing a little bit more damage than Siren, actually. Lily May following up in third. And then we've got Callan and Ludovic. Ludovic doing a good chunk of healing. Having a really strong Ludovic in this fight is going to be huge for your team. So yeah, if you don't have a strong Ludovic, I'm not sure this would work. You at least want your team to be pretty close in Paragon level, and you should be able to get the win here. So let's go ahead and watch this replay one more time, and then we'll probably call this a video. But anyway, yeah, the battle starts. We get the aging debuff on the Siren. We get the second stack from our own Siren. Then Lily blocks the Siren's ultimate, unlocking the dot damage, kills him right away. Then we get the Callan Roar and our own Siren active, and it just works out really well for us. Yeah, it really comes down to Callan getting that roar out before the Shamira does her active, and even if the Shamira does do her active, we still can get wins. That's just the choke point in the fight, where some things could go their way, some things could go your way, and that's going to be the decision maker. So anyway, that's the team I was able to come up with. Like I said, didn't have to use any Hypogean Celestial units, so that's really good. If you don't have Callan, you could really, since you're not using any of the talent tiles, you could honestly just swap in any other hero that you want that could do what Callan does. So Callan he protects your team at the start, and he's also doing CC. So you're going to want to have a hero that can do one of those things really well, whether it's protecting or CCing, or you're going to want to have a hero that can do both of those. So I don't know, I'll try to think on it and think on about Callan replacements, and I'll leave it in a pinned comment or something like that. But for the most part, I honestly think Callan is almost a must-have on this team. So yeah, we'll see. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. Remember, I do have a loot bar link in the description below. Also, I have a Discord link down there too. And yeah, that's going to be about it. So if you can, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I really like brownness, yeah. It's yummy. I play games with y'all.